guys, welcome back to Crazy Dave's Kitchen, the Freeze Drying Academy. All right, right here next to me you see a big huge bag from Wild Fork. Now Wild Fork, as far as my understanding, is a nationwide. They've got some amazing stuff in their store, so go check them out. But this whole episode is on dog treats. That's right, dog treats. All right, so let me move this bag off to the side and kind of show you what I've got, okay? So let's see, right here. I got some chicken hearts. This is a 40-ounce bag, so 2.5 pounds of chicken hearts. I actually got 2 bags of those, okay? There you go. Let's see what else we got. I've got some beef liver, and this one here is 1.2 pounds, okay, of beef liver. And I've got a couple of these. I think I got like 3 of them. So there's 1, there's 2, there's the 3rd one, okay? Let's get the bag out of here. And lastly, what I've got is I've got some beef kidneys. Now, this is a big thing here. This is only $1.98 pounds, okay? So we'll put that over here. And I've got 2 of those. All right, so what I'm gonna do, and I'm gonna go ahead and freeze dry these. Now, all this, right? My cost for all this right here was $32.39. So I'll show you that receipt right now so you can see that. $32.39. Here is the scary part on this stuff. This little bag right here, this little one, this is only, what is it? 4.2 ounces of beef liver, okay? $10 at PetSmart. I've seen it online even a lot more expensive, okay? That's a lot of money because right here, 32 bucks, 10 bucks. So I'm gonna freeze dry all this stuff. Now, check this out. The chicken hearts, all right, 2.5 pounds. Now this chicken heart, according to my receipt, was $6 a bag. Okay, so that's $12 for 5 pounds. Online, chicken hearts, you ready for this? $16.99 for 4 ounces. Wow, talk about a money savings there, okay? Now, the beef kidneys, okay? I got 2 packages of these. This first one here is $5.76. It's basically, $1.98 a pound, 2.91 pounds, okay? And this other one here was 2.76 pounds, okay? Now, ready for this? Beef kidney is the most expensive one. $22.50 for 3 ounces. Talk about insane, guys. So if anything, you need a reason to get yourself a freeze dryer and you have animals, whether it be dogs or cats, right here is your reason why to get your own freeze dryer, because you can make your own homemade dog food, dog treats, the whole 9 yards, and you know exactly what it is. These are gonna be raw, okay? So it's raw food is excellent for your dog. Now I'm gonna go ahead and start freeze drying these babies. So how do you freeze dry this stuff and make the amazing dog food? Well, right now, I just took both bags of the chicken hearts because they're already pre-frozen and they're already separated, and I put them immediately into the freeze dryer. So 2 bags for the 4 trays, okay? Now we're gonna go freeze dry that. I'll show you what the finished product looks like when that is done. In the meantime, what am I doing with the liver? Well, I can't freeze dry this right now because it's just, hard as a brick. So I'm gonna go ahead and defrost these naturally in my garage fridge, okay? Same thing with the beef kidneys. What I do with the beef liver, though, once it's thawed out, is I'll open up the package, I'll drain out all that blood, or hemoglobin if you want to call it technically, but all the blood. And then I'll rinse it off with a little bit of some fresh water. Then I will go ahead and throw it into a small bowl with some apple cider vinegar, kind of soak it real quick, let it sit there, because apple cider vinegar, especially the organic version of it, is amazing for your dogs, okay? So I'll soak that real quick, maybe 5 or 10 minutes. Then I'll go ahead and transfer it whole to my freeze-dried tray. So I'll show you that. Then I'll show you how easy it is to cut it up when it's all said and done. Now, in regards to the beef kidneys, that is something new to me. We're gonna figure that one out together. All right, guys, been overnight. I freeze-dried those chicken hearts. If you remember, it went in at 5 pounds, and I paid $12 for 5 pounds of these things. Finished, 14.6 ounces finished, okay? My cost on this was about 38 cents an ounce. After freeze drying, again, 14.6 ounces is what I ended up with. cost is about 82 cents an ounce. You remember, the freeze-dried chicken hearts was $16 for 4 ounces. My cost was 82 cents an ounce. At 4 ounces, $3.28 for that one bag. Okay, now remember, I got 14.6 ounces total of this. So if I were to do my math real quick, and I take my cost of, 82 cents an ounce, okay, and I multiply that by 14.6, my total cost on this thing is $11.97, okay? Give or take. Well, I mean, that's what it would cost, if I got it freeze-dried. Now, remember, 16 ounces, or $16 at 4 ounces, okay? So even if I did, let's say, if I did about 3 of these, okay? So if I did $16 times, let's say 3.5, give or take, that would have cost me about $56 to $60 for this one bag if I got it from the pet store. So, think about the cost on this. $12 for me to get this raw, 14.6 ounces. That's a huge saving just on the chicken hearts alone. All right, put those off to the side, because now it's time for me to move on to the beef liver. So right now I got it in the sink, a couple bags here. I'm gonna open them up, I'm gonna rinse them off, and then, as I mentioned earlier, I've got the apple cider vinegar mixed with a little bit of water. I'm gonna go ahead and, after I'm done rinsing them off, kind of soak them in here for a couple minutes. Then we're gonna go ahead and put them on a tray and get them into the freeze dryer. All right, guys, I just pulled out the beef liver from the freeze dryer and I weighed them in. It came out for this whole big stack right here at 1 pound 6 ounces, or actually 1 pound 5 ounces. And originally it was 3.68 pounds. Okay, so when I did the math here, the stores are charging for 3 ounces. They wanted $9.49 for 3 ounces. That comes out to about $3.16 an ounce. When I did my math at, $9 for 3 pounds, this whole bag right here would have cost me about $51. Okay? So, wow. That's, again, a huge saving of over $40 freeze drying it yourself. Now, I like to leave them on the trays whole. What I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna go ahead and put them on a cutting board, and then I cut them into my own little squares. I'll show you what they look like when I'm finished. All right, so this is actually one piece of the beef liver. So what I like to do is, I'm just gonna do it for the camera, is I'll use my big blade, and I cut it into kind of like little strips here, okay? Then I turn it sideways, okay, so you see like that. Now I'll turn it like this, and you're just making, the little tiny pieces, because you want them to be kind of like a dog treat, And don't worry about the small, super small pieces, because what I like to do is I'll take the pieces that I feel are too small, like kind of like, like these little pieces here, is I'll throw them into Justice's food dish, and that way there she has an immediate treat. But I'm gonna go ahead and bag these up, but that's it. That's the beef liver. Now we're gonna move on to the beef lung. All right, guys, now we're gonna do the beef kidney. I've got a package here sitting in the sink. It's kind of leaking. So just a word of caution with wild fork. I don't know why, but this is the third one that when I defrosted, it seemed to leak. So I think that you might want to use some kind of Ziploc bag when you're defrosting it so it doesn't make a mess. So I'm gonna go ahead and open up the package. I'm gonna drain off all the blood or the hemoglobin and see what I'm dealing with. Then I'm gonna go ahead and put them onto the trays. But let me go ahead and get these things out of the package so I know what I'm looking at, and I'll bring you back once I have them laid out so we know what they look like. All right, so this is what this thing looks like. I'm seeing that it had different pieces, but it's all one piece. I mean, it's together. And this is like maybe a fat piece here. So I'm thinking that if I just get in here and, cut them out, then I got some good kind of pieces here. And then I think I'll just, go through and, just cut them into small little chunks here. So let me get working on this. and I'll bring you back once I'm done and I get them loaded on the trays. But I think I'm just gonna cut them into, nice little chunks here, and then we're gonna go ahead and put them on the freeze dry trays and see what happens. But yeah, this is interesting. I've never done the beef, what is it, beef kidneys? I've never done that before. So we're gonna find out what this is. We're also gonna find out whether Justice likes them when we're all said and done. All right, guys. So I just got done freeze drying the beef kidneys. Okay, now take a look at that. That's what they look like post freeze dried, okay? Now I bagged it up. I'll tell you, they do stink, okay? But what dog food smells good, okay? But anyway, enough about that because we can go on that subject. Okay, now remember, I started with 5.69 pounds of the beef kidney. I ended up with 18 ounces, so a pound and 2 ounces. My cost pre-freeze dry came out to about 13 cents an ounce. Post-freeze dry, 63 cents an ounce, okay? Because there's a lot of water in it. Here is the scary eye-opening part. Online, these things right here, the beef kidneys, go for $7.50 an ounce, okay? Now, take $7.50 an ounce and multiply that by 18 ounces, you get 135 bucks. My cost here was only $11.26. So 135 versus $11.26. Now, do you need another reason why you need a freeze dryer? Probably not, okay? Because that alone and these three things I just showed you guys on what to do for your pets should save you a lot of money and put that back in your pocketbook and give you a reason why you need your own freeze dryer. Okay, so now I'm gonna go ahead and post within the description what are the benefits of each one of these dog treats that we did on this journey. So remember, going back to the beginning of the video, we got the chicken hearts. Then I did the beef liver, finally ending up with the beef kidney. So I'm gonna share with you guys what are the benefits of each one for your dog, okay? Well, in the meantime, please hit the like, subscribe button. Please share this video with your friends because this one is awesome and amazing. Something that you really want to share with your family, your friends, and all the pet lovers that you know. Until next time, take care, relax, enjoy. I'll see you soon. Crazy Dave's Kitchen, the Freeze Drying Academy.